the Ring of Fire solar
NASA's
eclipse,
at it
and
again.
flat Earth.
NASA will fire 3 rockets at the Ring of Fire solar eclipse this weekend. Ooh. The rockets will go about 50 miles up. Huh, that's interesting. Remember that Encyclopedia Britannica from 1958 that got banned because it said that there's a dome about 50 some miles up? Huh, is that why they're going 50 miles up? Because that's as far as they can go? And these rockets are going to go up into the ionosphere, which is where the air becomes electric. Huh. That's interesting because a lot of flat earthers say that the firmament, dome, the vault of stars above us, which circles above us in a clockwise manner, which makes sense, they say that it actually moves due to electromagnetism. Huh. By golly, I gotta put my spectacles on for this one, because am I reading this right? Okay, if you think of the ionosphere as a pond with some gentle ripples on it, the eclipse is like a motorboat that suddenly rips through the water. It creates a wake immediately underneath and behind it, and then the water level momentarily goes up and rushes back in. Oh my gosh! The Bible, the Word of God, literally says there is water above us and below us. Why would there be water in outer space? Unless outer space is a lie. Ooh. Are you moving right now? I'm not moving right now. Are you moving? You feel like you're moving? You might want to see a doctor. I mean, I'm not a professional. But Psalm 104:5, he set the earth on its foundations, never to be moved. Are you hearing that, lukewarms? Lukewarms, you're not in space, lukewarms. Lukewarms, you're under God's firmament. Lukewarms, you gotta read the Bible literally, okay? Come on, lukewarms. The sun and the moon, they're lights. Genesis 1:16, God made 2 great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. Where in there does he say that he made an earth, made a ball, and he spun it and tilted it and put it around outer space with a dusty rock circling around it too, and made it all go around the sun? Nowhere. Don't say it, truth be told. Don't say it, don't say it. I'm gonna go there. Sun and moon are the same size, shape, and they perfectly eclipse. They are perfect discs of light. They are not spheres, but they have the lying wonder placed upon them to give the illusion that they are in outer space. Ooh, does the Bible support this? Yeah, it does. Here we go. This is from my homie Paul when he wrote his letter to Ephesus. Ephesians 6:12, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, authorities, powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Yeah, guys, up there is some wickedness in the sky. So if the moon has never made sense, why you can see directly through it, and why it never actually spins, it's always that same image, well, there you go. There's rulers, powers, and authorities in the heavenly realms, and they're quite wicked. You all know that I think we live in the season of Satan, which is Revelation 20, verse 7. We've done that in a video before. But why would God allow the things in our sky to be such a deception? I thought God was supposed to be good. Oh, he is. Remember that God came here in the flesh and took on the sins of the world, conquering death for us, all who believe, made righteous, born again, and then, eternal life. But let's read this Bible verse too. 2 Thessalonians 2, 9 through 12, the coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power through signs and wonders that serve the lie, and all the ways that wickedness deceives those who are perishing. They perish because they refuse to love the truth, Jesus Christ, and so be saved. For this reason, God sends a powerful delusion so that they will believe the lie, and so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth but had delighted in wickedness. Guys, this has given you an idea of how God's heart works. Yeah, I know that verse doesn't say anything about the sun, moon, and stars, but that verse does tell you that if you do not accept Jesus Christ, then he will allow a strong delusion to take place. That doesn't mean that flat earth, globe earth is a salvation issue, but my golly, friends, globe earth is a slippery slope into atheism. It's a slippery slope into the Big Bang, evolution, and other things that serve that lie. I'm talking to you, lukewarms. So yeah, this weekend, enjoy seeing several rockets go straight up, then out, and then back down again, so they avoid hitting the dome. They better be leaving God's firmament alone. I don't like this. I don't like it one bit. And I'm sorry if I had to get a little hard on you, lukewarms. Like I said, once you wake up, you won't be lukewarm for Christ no more. You'll be all in. And if you're having a little bit of a difficult time perceiving what the sun and the moon are after I made this video, think of them as rainbows. You can't get to them. You can't land on them. But they're wholly spiritual and amazing. Side note, anyone ever look at a double rainbow? How the colors are literally the flipped version of each other? It's almost like God is showing you that above us is not only a dome, but a mirrored refractive type surface. Interesting. Huh. That's a whole nother can of worms. Happy thinking. So this weekend you might get lucky enough to see a rocket like this SpaceX rocket skimming on the waters above. You don't think we live in the season of Satan? Oh, you're probably right.
Eddie Griffin, ladies and gentlemen, he has talked about the earth being flat for a long time. Let's get into it.
He wants to go to outer space. Just like every other billionaire. I need to go to outer space. What's out in outer space?
Why y'all trying to go out there?
And they never make it. The rocket shit hits the firmament, and the firmament stops it. Ain't nobody been to the moon. Ain't nobody been outside this giant cage that we're trapped in. The firmament is real. This is why rocket ships take off and they start shooting at an angle. They'll scrape the firmament and they always land in the ocean. Then they shoot some grainy film that they were on the moon. It scraped the surface of the firmament, landed. It's only one day, but the landing is like a week later. But that's when they show it. All the shit happened in one day. There's no satellites out there either, nigga.
Yeah, 'cause they ain't supposed to be out there.
There's no satellites.
You know, rockets, they have so many compartments that break off when you go. So how does the shit the same when it lands?
Yeah.
The same as it takes off.
Or even the satellite. Yeah.
No, there's no satellites. They are hanging satellites in the firmament. This is a GPS system. And that's the permanent GPS system. They call it space. But the space between Earth and God is called the firmament. And until he opens that up, it's going to be continued. Firmament. That's called the firmament. It's in the Bible. Nothing will get through the firmament. Flat Earth is real. Right? The world is not round. If it was, I could disprove this many times, but anyway. There's an ice wall around our three-dimensional world called Earth that lays on a two-dimensional plane. Right? But we're trapped in the center on this planet in an ice wall. This is why if you fly from anywhere on Earth to Australia, to Antarctica, why do you always have to fly to England? To make it seem like the world is round, you had to travel that far. From Florida to Antarctica is about four and a half hours on a straight shot. So why the fuck you gotta fly from Florida to London and then there? Anywhere you come from, you gotta go to London and then there.
Laying over.
No, you're going to London because the reptilians there said you must come through there.
Yeah, I remember I was telling y'all on that live, you know what I'm saying? Let me rephrase myself real quick on it. All these motherfucking lakes was man-made, and most of these oceans got water on top of the real oceans. Yeah, I meant that shit, folks.
What happened was is they put the lake in that spot to cover up the ruins.
Oh,
interesting.
Interesting. 4D chess right there.
Yeah. So you're saying all lakes are man-made?
You have 53,000. So there's, if you're going to go with how many are in America, that's a lot, right? So 53,000, and the average lake sits at about, you know, the average. Well, if we're going to go with dams and everything, they sit at about 40%. So if they're technically low, right, that's what they try to tell you, it's always low. It's never actually full. So they're always going to pull the whole, well, we're running water because there's not a lot of water in those dams. But it's interesting because even the Hoover Dam and that whole thing that was built, that's all part of the Phoenix and Arizona right here in this state. And that's got a lot of ancient lineage over there too as well. And it's interesting because that was right around the time with the Phoenix fire, which was 1916 on September 23rd. So that's kind of right around that time when all those things were happening. But this water deceiving is basically you have these controllers who hold the water up here, and then they say down here, you're running water, when in reality, there's water coming out of the earth. Oh. So for example, California had an earthquake. This was 3 years ago. Northern California had an earthquake. And all of a sudden, one of the rivers just started pouring water. And the people were like, what the heck is going on? There's water coming out of the river. The river hasn't had water ever. Right? So people were completely baffled that now water is coming back. Then on top of that, you had back in the 1950s when the lakes were actually low, they used primary water, which is the water coming up from inside the earth, to refill Lake Elsinore when it got low in the 1950s. So the people who are up here holding the water know of primary water because they use it to their advantage. And someone, if we're going to take it to another level, was saying that's how they did floods. They understood how to get that primary water out of the earth, and then they could flood an area. So it's interesting with the whole primary water because we're never taught about it. Is over here. These trees are getting water from somewhere else. They're not getting water from the sky. They're getting water from deep inside the earth.
I want to know how y'all feel about this shit. Like, follow, favorite, and share for more content.
How is it possible for me to release oxytocin and for me to have that binding hormone chemistry with you if you got a shaved vagina? Where is the connection at? How am I going to get that? That's why missionary is important. I'm not saying be bored and just always do it in that type of style and stuff like that. But missionary is important for you can connect those pubic hairs together for you can interchange the intellectual property, y'all. Hair is important. And we missing it everywhere. Just missing it. Do not shave y'all hair. It is beautiful. It's beautiful. Hair on your vagina is beautiful. Hair under your armpits is beautiful. Hair on your legs is beautiful. Hair on your arms is beautiful. See, when I look at, I'm a holistic healer. I look at, I'm like, dang, her shit works. That's what I look at. I'm like, she healthy, it works. Dang, it grow hair. It grows, it's long, it works. It grows it's beautiful. I'm looking at that, I'm like, dang, her lymphatic system is not stagnated. Her nervous system is not compromised. She don't have mucus just stuck all up in between the epidermal layers of her skin. See, when I look at her, I look at it from an African standpoint, an Aboriginal ancient America standpoint. I'm not looking at it from this New Age standpoint or this Roman Greco standpoint. You know where shaving come from? That come from the Greeks. That come from the Romans. You're not a Greek and you're not a Roman. So why are you shaving? You shaving your beard, shaving your hair, coming around looking like a grown ass naked baby. Let's stop doing that, family. For real, we have to stop doing that because you don't even know what your hair is. You don't know how important it is, and you don't even know the anatomy of your own body. Quit following what other people do and study your body, and you'll realize that God made everything on you perfectly. Everything he put on you was perfect.
Eating a banana and putting a banana in a blender is two different things. I did not know that. One day I was making coconut milk. One day I said, let me put a banana in this motherfucker just to see it. I'm like, damn, this is delicious. I gained weight that week. I didn't what it was.
From the banana?
When you blend a banana, it's 8 points.
What?
When you eat a banana, it's Ugats.
What? It's 0
How's
points?
that for you? Because when you eat fruit and when you drink fruit, it's two different things. That's why all these fat people, when you see them going, I don't eat breakfast, I drink a smoothie. You're killing yourself. Because when you eat fruit, the saliva in your mouth breaks the fruit down and it digests the sugar a different way. When you bypass that enzyme in your mouth, that's when you get 300 pounds like Uncle Joey.
Someone please explain this. I'm very confused with this. Oh my god. Whoa.
Y'all seen this right here, the eclipse today? What's that? It looks like, huh?
Someone please explain this. I'm very confused with this. Oh my god. Whoa. Someone please explain this. I'm very confused with this. Oh my god. Whoa.
Trippy shadows of 2023 eclipse.
Solar eclipse.
Watch this. I cannot see that with my own bare eyes. Like, I only see it through the camera. Wow.
Live your people, man. We need to stop hating on each other.
Nigga.
I know this message ain't for everybody, but this message is for everybody. Especially if you ain't out here uplifting your brother, uplifting your sister, uplifting your family, uplifting your blood, uplifting your people, uplifting the people around you, uplifting people that you don't even know. If you ain't encouraging, if you ain't out here inspiring, if you ain't fucking doing it, then you not being real human. And I said what I said.
Shit.
If you ain't out here fucking goddamn uplifting your brother, your sister, you ain't fucking encouraging them motherfuckers to deal with their life, change their life, then you with the bullshit. You know? That's just the way it is. Could drive blank across the board. For real. If somebody mad because you doing something that they wouldn't never do, or they don't got the heart to do, if they constantly trying to tell you can't do it, well, you better check that shit. For real. There's a reason why people kill dreams. They call them dream killers. You know? There's a reason why that shit be happening. People don't want shit to happen for you. People don't want good to happen. You gotta watch that shit. I encourage everybody to be great. For real, whatever you doing, if you out here fucking tricking, if you being a prostitute, be a great prostitute. You out here drug dealing, be the best drug dealer. Rapping, shooting ball. If you gonna be a lawyer, doctor, what the fuck ever. Just be the best. Do good. You know what I'm saying? I encourage people not to sell their soul, not to motherfucking do something immoral because they want some money or some shit. Come on. Golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated. Respect go a long way. I'm telling you. For real. I don't know why it's so hard for us to understand that, grasp it as humans, that we need each other, and we keep tearing each other down. And there's so much division going on in the world right now, you know? And it's stuff that I'm not even gonna say on TikTok because I know that it causes division. But at the same time, we need to look inside ourselves and figure it out. First place you find is peace within. You find peace within. You find love within. Apologize to yourself for fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. It ain't everybody else's fault. It never was. Apologize to yourself. For real. Forgive yourself. Even in the Bible, it say, how can you forgive other people if you can't forgive yourself? Check yourself. Tell yourself it's okay. We been all right. It's shit that doesn't happen to me that I have to forgive myself for. I always did. I had to accept responsibility in my actions and do me. It ain't on everybody else. My peace, my freedom, my love, that's all shit I found. Nobody gave that shit to me. I can't go buy that shit. I went and found that shit myself. And we cultivate it every day now. We know the equation. We found that motherfucking math project and did it. And I'm just trying to encourage everybody else too. It don't take fucking quitting a job or moving off grid, or it take finding yourself, finding your freedom. If you want to be whatever you want to be, do that shit. Human. Be a human first. That's all I'm going to tell you. I don't know how to do it. I can't fix life. I can't fix my life half the time because I don't control it. Only thing I control is how I move through life. And I encourage people to move through life as humans, loving one another, checking each other at the door when it comes to bullshit. Because I want people to check me, especially if it's something that I'm doing out here fucked up. Let me know. For real. Because all I'm doing is trying to spread the message of love. Fuck the light. Fuck the dark. It don't matter. All of us man-made at the end of the day. In the beginning, it was the Word, and the Word was God. And what God was the Word, I have said it. Know that Word is the breath of life. And if you breathe life into anything, you'll have death. I mean, there's no life without death. But as the great Young Thugger once said, I can't remember how he said it, but Thug said it in the song, and it was like, something like, I don't know, I can't remember. But yeah, Thug said that shit. Remember what Thug said. Go look it up. About life and death and shit. It's real. Ain't no reason why. I don't know what the reason is. I can't tell you. I won't tell you. Even if I knew the reason, I wouldn't tell you, because I think that's the reason for it all. It's for you to find out yourself. When they say awaken, awaken. Figure it out. Breathe life into your life. Breathe life into your heart. Breathe love into your heart. Speak love into your life. We always out here talking about how we hate this, or we condition to hate. We learned that. It's learned behavior. Get it out your life. Don't be a hater. Encourage your brother. Uplift your sister. Life too short to be out here mad all the time. And I can't even get mad at ignorance. I just want to educate people. Don't get mad at me. I love you.
So, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way.
You're not human, are you?
Well, it's tough to get any more obvious than that.
If I had to guess, I'd say you're a program from the machine world. So is he.
So far, so good.
But if that's true, that could mean you are part of this system. Another kind of control.
Keep going.
I suppose the most obvious question is, how can I trust you?
Bingo. It is a pickle, no doubt about it. Bad news is there's no way if you can really know whether I'm here to help you or not. So it's really up to you. Just have to make up your own damn mind to either accept what I'm going to tell you or reject it. Candy?
You already know if I'm going to take it?
Wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it. I thought you'd have figured that out by now.
Why are you here?
Same reason. I love candy.
But why help us?
We're all here to do what we're all here to do. I'm interested in one thing, Neo, the future. And believe me, I know the only way to get there is together.
Are there other programs like you?
Oh, well, not like me, but... Look, see those birds? At some point, a program was written to govern them. A program was written to watch over the trees and the wind, sunrise and sunset. There are programs running all over the place. The ones doing their job, doing what they were meant to do, are invisible. You never even know they were here. But the other ones, well, you hear about them all the time.
I've never heard of them.
Of course you have. Every time you've heard someone say they saw a ghost or an angel. Every story you've ever heard about vampires, werewolves, or aliens is the system assimilating some program that's doing something they're not supposed to be doing.
I don't know where bro came from, but this man literally said, my inner child love your laugh and my spirit know your urges, love self-gazing in your eyes because there's light inside your purpose. That's the beautiful, that's love, bro. And for him to have put that on the track is crazy. Like, I don't know what else I gotta do to convince y'all that this man is actually like speaking life into his listeners, but that's literally it, yo, and I'm loving every minute of it.
So in this eye, you can see quite a bit of inflammation in the eye. When you see the red blood vessels like this, and it comes, it's inflammation. So you want to alkalize the body and detox the body to get rid of the inflammation. When you see the brown spots like these, okay, brown usually signifies weak liver. See, it's all over the place. So we need to address and strengthen the liver. If you look closely, you see that there's a purple color here. That's potential cataracts in the eye. And look at the white color going here. That's cholesterol. This indicates the body is using cholesterol to fight metabolic waste, and it's white, so it's leading to plaquing. So the person needs to be detoxed quickly, okay, to get rid of the acidity in the body, to alkalize the body.
Listen to what he says on here. Is he describing what's actually happening over there, or what is going to happen somewhere else? Here it comes. Oh.
Good afternoon. You know, there are moments in this life, I mean this literally, when the pure, unadulterated evil is unleashed on this world. The people of Israel lived through one such moment this weekend. The bloody hands of the terrorist organization Hamas, a group whose stated purpose for being is to kill Jews. This is an act of sheer evil.
Did you catch what he just said? Their sheer purpose for being is to do that. And where are they now?
More than 1,000 civilians slaughtered, not just killed, slaughtered in Israel.
Pay attention,
Among
y'all.
them, at least 14 American citizens killed. Parents butchered using their bodies to try to protect their children. Stomach-turning reports of babies being killed. Entire families slain. Young people massacred while attending a musical festival to celebrate peace. To celebrate peace.
Mm-hmm.
Women raped, assaulted, paraded as trophies. Families hid their fear for hours and hours, desperately trying to keep their children quiet.
Have y'all noticed a change about this man? This is the same one. I just saw him run away from a press conference without tripping one time. This is the same man that can't even walk up 5 or 6 stairs.
To avoid drawing attention. And thousands of wounded. Alive, but carrying with them the bullet holes and the shrapnel wounds and the memory of what they endured. You all know these traumas never go away. There's still so many families desperately waiting to hear the fate of their loved ones, not knowing if they're alive or dead or hostages. Infants in their mother's arms, grandparents in wheelchairs, Holocaust survivors abducted and held hostage. Hostages whom Hamas has now threatened to execute in violation of every code of human morality.
Well, they're over here now, so here we have it. Dark Brandon, the one that flipped the script on all his people. What do we all really think is going to happen? What is going to happen when we make a move with Israel? Stay safe.
You know, Columbus called America India. It wasn't called America, it was called India. That is why we're still calling the Americans Indians.
So like Dr. Ivan Van Sertima just said, they were calling America India. In fact, they were calling America India superior. So now you need to ask yourself, why would they call America India superior? Unless it was first and foremost and the oldest. All right? This wasn't an accident. They weren't calling America India because they thought they were somewhere else, you know. Irregardless of the story that's been told to us, they called America India at the time because it was inhabited by dark-skinned people. So yes, America was called India first, starting in the 1400s with Columbus. They were still calling America India in the 1500s, and now this is the Spanish, because again, Columbus was on a Spanish voyage, right? And all up into the 1600s, the Spanish were still calling America India. Now, the confusion comes in because the British, who were the last to the party, created a couple of companies. They created the East India Company in early 1600 in a place at the time was being called Hindustan. It wasn't being called India. It was being called Hindustan. Okay? Now, today, people consider Hindustan India. And that's why they get it confused and say Indians are from India. That's not true. The first place we called India was the Americas. Hindustan wasn't called India to the 1940s. All right? That is when Hindustan legally changed their name to India, but the term India came from the India Company, the East India Company that they established in India in 1600. But from the beginning, they were calling America India, and that's the Spanish. They were calling the Americas Indias, and they created laws for Indies, or India, Los Indias, in the Americas. And then later on, after they discovered or started trying to colonize Southeast Asia, that's when they started calling those folks Indians also.
Island appears to have broken loose and is traveling upstream against the current. I was representing the Geographical Society of Canada on a boat trip that was traveling around the northern tip of Vancouver Island. It's very remote, nobody lives there, there's no roads, it's a wonderful piece of pristine wilderness.
As he makes his way along the channel, he comes across a small island that seems to have taken on a life of its own.
It was in the Naguacto Rapids. It has some of the fastest tidal flow in the world, so the flow of the water changes direction several times a day. And while I'm filming, I'm focusing in on the waves and the rocks.
George's video shows a view of the channel with a small tree-covered islet in the middle. But while the boat appears to float along very slowly, the island rushes past it at an alarming clip.
The island appears to have broken loose and is traveling upstream against the current.
George posts his video online, and everyone who views it joins in on his confusion.
We know that islands don't move. They don't float, they're not boats. They're pieces of land that are sticking up out of the water. Why is this thing on the move?
But journalist Aaron McCarthy says it's not the only island reported to be in motion.
There's also El Ojo, or I Island, in Argentina. It's almost perfectly circular, and it constantly moves and rotates. And according to some sources, locals believe that the circle within a circle is a representation of God on Earth. Other people theorize that is actually covering up a hidden underwater alien base. And that has led believers of this theory to say that that's proof that something otherworldly is at work here.
Just a young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, wanna land.
The friends, the foes, the bins, the what? The studios, the shows, comes and it goes. The jealousy, the envy, the phony, the friendly. The one that gave them the slugs, the one that put them in me. The snakes, the grass, too long to see. The lawnmower sitting right next